The Council is sending our squad on Operation Blinding Scepter, a mission to a Newfoundland fishing village that lost contact with the rest of the world. Along with our regular soldiers, we're bringing along Matthew Hawkins, call sign Electo, acting as Solo's replacement as the squad sniper. As we begin to explore the quaint seaside village, we come across some chrysalids as well as reanimated dead. Actually, now that we've gotten this far, I've realized that we haven't really talked about the chrysalids yet. I've pointed out that they exist, but that's about as far as we've gotten with it. Chrysalids are, to put it simply, nightmare fuel. They move quickly, hunt in packs, and have a high damage melee attack. If a soldier is killed by a chrysalid, they're reanimated as a zombie shortly after. Leave your zombified friend alive long enough, and they'll burst open, hatching another chrysalid from inside them. As we continue to fight our way north, we spot some unhealthy-looking fish for sale at the market. In the interest of public health, Forklift disposes of it. As we approach the ship that we believe to be the source of our problem, I park Electo on the rooftop overlooking it. With his squad sight, this will afford him a nice view of everything that goes on the upper deck. As for Crash, I leave him outside the ship, a fair ways back. If things were to go sideways in there and our soldiers have to run, he is not fast enough to escape. I send Bull and Forklift up to the top deck, while Septic and Whiskey go below. Inside the ship, we discover a truly grotesque-looking whale that we soon discover is a breeding ground for new chrysalids. If we don't do anything, they will keep hatching from inside this whale and eventually overrun us. We don't have enough firepower to do anything about it ourselves, but if we can get to the command center of the ship and turn on its tracking beacon, we can use that to target an airstrike, obliterating the ship, the whale inside it, and all the chrysalids that have yet to hatch. As Bull makes a break for the control room, he's ambushed by 3 chrysalids. Luckily, Forklift and Electo can provide support for him, while Septic and Whiskey take care of the waves of chrysalids hatching below deck. Once the tracking beacon is activated, our squad has 8 turns to escape the area. Anyone left at the end of those 8 turns will have to be left behind, and will surely die when the airstrike comes in. With that, our team books it. As we run, our soldiers take turns covering our retreat as more chrysalids are coming from within the ship, as well as hatching from other fish that are hanging around the market. Luckily, everyone makes it to the extraction ship with time to spare. As our team makes their way home from yet another successful mission, XCOM air support obliterates the ship, the whale, the town, and everything left alive within it. Between missions, we get to work. We build the psionic labs, research mech close combat in the foundry, increasing the damage of Forklift's kinetic strike, as well as begin building these automated drones, the Hover Shiv and the Alloy Shiv. We finish our research on the Fusion Lance weapon for our interceptors, build 5, and add them to our Firestorm ships. This leaves every continent with 1 Firestorm with a Fusion Lance, 1 interceptor with an EMP cannon, and 1 interceptor with a plasma cannon. Another month finished, another Council report card. This time we get a D. It seems like the Council is still hung up on this Overseer UFO that's sneaking around our planet. Surprisingly, other than that, the aliens aren't up to much right now. The full 14 days I needed to build the psionics lab were completely peaceful. Not that I'm complaining, of course, I just noticed it. I decide to put Bull into the psionics lab to figure out if there's some innate ability that's been driving his impressive performance throughout this war, as well as Pablo Perez and Annette, who we already know has psionic abilities, but I don't think we can unlock them and use them until we put her through the lab. As we wait for the results on this testing, we spot a very large UFO. This is the perfect time to test run our Firestorm interceptor, and I truly wasn't ready for how great these things are. It took it down in 2 shots. But, with the scout ship having been shot down over Japan, it's time to launch Operation Defiant Flame. We're expecting 19 enemies on this mission, so I make sure to gear up everyone with the best of the best. At first, I think this is a whole new layout for us, but then it dawns on me. That alien battleship that we nearly sacrificed everything to hijack one of so long ago, that's just a regular Tuesday for us now. We're well equipped to take these things on. As we explore the ship, I almost decide to split the party, but remembering that the hyperwave relay told us to expect Muton elites, I pull everyone back together. I'm not ready to lose someone else. We get a good way into the ship, only facing token resistance up until this point. I don't like how quiet it's been. And that would be why. What the fuck even is that? As we're fighting these Muton elites and this giant metal bastard, we also trigger a cyber disk and its support drones to join the battle. At this point, just the sheer number of things is too much to take on at once. I decide to make a bold, potentially sacrificial play with Forklift. While it leaves him standing out in the open with low health, his electro-pulse takes out every drone within the range of the blast, kills one of the Muton elites, and disables this mechanized thing, delaying its attack for one more turn. When it comes back online, we find out that it does huge damage, can fire multiple times per turn, and enter Overwatch at the end of its turn anyway. This is some bullshit. As we fight back, we discover it's even worse. It seems to take half damage from anything we can throw at it, and it has an innate ability that reduces our chances to get a critical hit against it. Between its damage output, shaking up the action economy, damage resistance abilities, and its sheer amount of health overall, this may very well be the most dangerous enemy that we fight in this war. I really hope they have nothing worse to throw at us anyway. Oh, and just to put the cherry on top, when we finally get it to low enough health for Forklift to fistfight it to death, it explodes as it dies, dealing damage back to him. It seems like if we really want to eliminate any of these things without taking any damage in return, it'll have to be from range. We heal up our soldiers, reload our weapons, and prepare to keep clearing out the UFO. Luckily, this area was the worst of it. The rest of the ship is pretty uneventful, and we managed to finish the mission with all of our soldiers still standing. Some of them will have to spend some recovery time in the medbay between missions, but that's much preferable to deaths. As we perform our autopsy, we discover that these new things are called sectopods, and I now have a name to give to my new primal fear. The Council has another mission for us, Operation Lazy Whisper. It seems like there's a potential bomb threat after aliens pass through a major American city. Before we send in the bomb squad, I upgrade everyone to either Ghost or Titan armor, depending on their needs. For this mission, there's a bomb armed somewhere on this map. We have to find it before the countdown ends and it detonates, killing everyone left. There are power nodes spread around the map that we can deactivate to delay the bomb. When we start the mission, we only have 3 turns to work with. It seems the aliens are hoping we'll get sloppy as we rush to disarm this bomb, but they don't really capitalize on our panic. The only defense that they send for this bomb is 16 thin men, and nothing else. With how weak those units are at this point in the game, they might as well have just left the bombs undefended. Either way, completing the mission gets free money from the Council, so who am I to complain? Finally, the Overseer UFO reveals itself, and we send our Firestorm Interceptor to shoot it down. As we gear up our team to head in, I look at the Hyperwave Relay report, and it's concerning me. We're expecting Muton Elites, Heavy Floaters, another Sectopod, and what the hell is an Ethereal? Well, whatever it is, we can't stop now. It's time for Operation Black Shroud. Luckily, it seems like most of the big threats that we face in this mission are fairly separate from each other. Our first discovery is a Sectopod flanked by a few support drones. We can focus the entire team on him and take him down without too much damage coming back our way. Some heavy floaters try to interfere near the end of the fight, but we take them out fairly quickly as well. After we take care of them and continue moving towards the ship, we find some Muton Elites, one of which we're able to weaken and capture for interrogation back at the base. In the central room of the Overseer UFO, we find what must be the Ethereal, flanked by some Muton Elites, seemingly as bodyguards. As we take out his entourage, we also stun and capture him for interrogation. For all my fear about this mission, that actually went fairly well. We've completed a story-critical objective, taken on some dangerous enemies, captured 2 new alien types for interrogation, and with no casualties on our end. Now it's time to bring this thing home and find out what we can learn from it.
Recovered from a cloaked ship and guarded by the most powerful being we've ever encountered. What do you think it is?
An object of immense power. Think of all we could do if we unlocked its secrets.
A dangerous sentiment, Doctor.
Sir, I'm picking something up.
Another cloaked ship?
No, sir. It's big.
Tell me that was a coincidence.
Wish I could, sir. That seismic event originated directly beneath our new contact.
Nothing we have would even make a dent in that thing.
If you two have any more bright ideas, now's the time.
Well, this certainly makes things interesting. I get the feeling we're approaching the final confrontation with whatever these aliens have as a commander. We may be about to determine if humanity wins this war or falls to the alien invaders. Whichever way it goes, come back next time to find out. You know how this goes. Like the video, subscribe for more, comment and let me know what you'd like to see. And come back in 2 weeks for what could be the final XCOM episode of this playthrough. I'll see you then.